So, an interesting thing I've realized in life, just living my life, I've realized that generally the right direction or the righteous way or like the kind of way in which you please God, um, that direction in life is generally contrary to what everyone else is doing or where everyone else is going or like what direction most people are going. Um, and I think it comes down to the Bible verse. Broad is the path to hell, but narrow is the way to heaven, or something like that. I'm just paraphrasing. Um, because that verse is basically saying that most people are going to hell. Um, most people aren't on the right way of living. And it doesn't just have to be something to do with Christianity or something to do with seeking God. I think you can apply that to kind of every single noble pursuit because 99% of people are just kind of drifting about in their life with no direction, kind of just doing what society expects them to do or what they've been programmed to do, like find a job, find a wife or husband, get married, have kids, retire, die. That like rat race. And 99% of people are doing that. In at least like in the point is like most people are just not thinking about life. They're just drifting. They're just kind of not actively like trying to change the direction of their life. Like even if you're not even pursuing God, let's say you're pursuing money, for example, that phrase narrow is the path to life and broad is the way to hell will also apply to that situation because most people aren't rich. Um and so like narrow is the path to being rich and broad is the path to just being mediocre or poor. Um and if you think about it just in general terms, the good things, most people don't have the good things in life. And so therefore you have to wonder like, how do you get the good things in life? And it's obviously not doing what most people are doing. But I would argue that it arguably, I'm arguing that it's not just about not doing what most people are doing. It's about doing the opposite of what people are doing. So, like, you just kind of think about all the ways people are being mediocre, like not thinking about life, just living according to their stomach, like their animalistic impulses, not having goals, not improving themselves, wasting their time. And then if you just do the exact opposite of all these things, so like be intentional with your time, set goals, don't act on your animal impulses, like work on yourself, improve yourself. Like literally if you do the exact opposite of what most people are doing, then you'll literally be on a right path. Like literally if you just take everything that mediocre people do and you do the exact opposite, then you'll be successful. And I think it's because in the Bible it says the devil controls the world. And so if the devil controls the world, then if people aren't thinking about the direction they're heading in life, then because the devil controls the world, he will naturally lead them to a path of death and a path of like hell, or just like hell in the sense of being in the world is just mediocrity. Like just being comfortable in their little comfort zone, not doing what God wants them to do, not living up to their full potential. Satan wants most people out of the fight of like truth, and he wants people to be like spiritually dead and not think about anything important or worth thinking about. And so I think that's why it works if you do the exact opposite of what most people do, is because Satan is in charge of what most people do, and the opposite of Satan is God. And yeah, so that's interesting. So like and there's so many like scenarios which this applies to. For example, I'm learning trading right now, and it's like when most people think the market is going to go up, that's when you should start to get suspicious, because if most people think it's going to go up, then everyone is bought already expecting it to go up. So who else is going to buy? So there's no other direction for it than just to go down. Like obviously I'm speaking in like general terms there, but yeah, like the general kind of gist of life is to be a contrarian. I think that's the way that will lead to the most success in life, even though it's the riskiest actually, because obviously it's the riskiest because like you can either trade mediocrity and like comfort for either like success or like extreme discomfort, because I think a lot of the things that that like mediocrity requires, if you stop doing those, then there's also a chance of becoming worse than mediocre, but there's also a chance of becoming greater than mediocre. And so when you think about that, a lot of people, like, that's why a lot of people stay in their comfort zones. A lot of people like don't think about things, and they just, you know, get a 9 to 5 job because it's comfortable, because it's safe. And I think that as I'm living my life recently, as I'm, you know, getting more experience from life, I'm learning to have faith in God more. And I think faith in God is the thing that allows you to become great, to differentiate yourself from mediocrity, because it means that no matter what you do, you know that there is a God who loves you. And if you just remember that fact, if you just have faith in that truth that maybe you know deep down because of your past and the things that God has shown you about his character in the past, and therefore you can have full confidence that he exists and he loves you, and so therefore that is the mindset people need to take when they want to follow the narrow path, because it's so hard leaving the crowd, and because as humans we're like animals, we like staying in the crowd, we like staying in the confines of social acceptance, because we are animals by nature. But that is the great calling of God. That is the calling that God gives humans, is that we have the chance to bypass our animalistic nature and become little gods, powered by faith in the fact that he loves us. And that is when people have the craziest lives. So yeah, I'm currently facing like a lot of life decisions, a lot of life questions. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. God bless.